From stories across the globe to stories here at home, this is the National News Broadcast. A very good evening to you. I'm Sharifah Tahir.
Hello there, very good evening indeed. I'm Javed Bongzo, and we begin with the headlines of tonight's news.
A few more hours left for the dawn of Christmas. The global community prepares to celebrate Christmas adhering to health guidelines. The main Holy Mass to be telecast live from St. Sebastian's Church in Kalana from the national television. COVID-19 recoveries in the country exceed 30,000 mark. A series of special guidelines to maintain economic centers. The program to plant 1 million trees in hydro catchments commences.
Now for those and other stories in detail. The Christmas festival commemorating the birth of Jesus Christ dawns at midnight today. The health authorities have directed instructions to celebrate the Christmas festivities in accordance to health guidelines, considering the prevailing COVID-19 situation in the country. Christmas is celebrated to commemorate the birth of Prince of Peace, Jesus Christ. Unlike the previous years, the Christmas celebrations of this year cannot be performed in grand scale due to the prevailing situation. Accordingly, steps have been taken to conduct the Holy Masses of this Christmas while adhering to health protective methodologies. Archbishop of Colombo, His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjit, requested the Catholic communities to limit the celebrations of Christmas within their respective families.
This year in Sri Lanka, we have a situation that is very tragic due to this COVID-19 pandemic, which has spread all over. Most of the people in Sri Lanka who are engaged in small-scale employment, earning a daily living, have been deprived of that income, and therefore they are in dire straits. At this time, we should not therefore concentrate on Christmas as an external celebration where we enjoy and revel with good things around us, but think about the meaning of that little cave in Bethlehem and try to share our Christmas with those people. That is why I have stated, and very clearly we would like our public to concentrate on a spiritual celebration of the Christmas and encouraging everyone to share the joy of their Christmas with those brothers and sisters who have been deprived of joy and happiness due to this COVID-19 pandemic. And also to inform the public that we have advised our priests to celebrate Christmas only in the non-lockdown areas, because in the lockdown areas we cannot have any celebrations as such. In the non-lockdown areas, to limit the celebration of Christmas, the Christmas festival and its ceremonies, to the number of persons that has been indicated by the health officials. And at the moment, the number of persons indicated is 50 per celebration. In order to cater to the large crowds that we have, therefore, it is necessary to multiply the ceremonies in such a way that the people can come, but all the same not crowd the church and expose themselves to the danger of contracting the pandemic. Therefore, we have given instructions that all the instructions of the health authorities should be followed in this case, like washing of hands, then looking at the temperature, then keeping the 1 meter distance, then wearing a face mask, and then participating in the ceremonies without any chance of exposing ourselves to contract the pandemic. To be very careful, and also not to indulge in external celebration with lot of crowds gathering together, like dinners and gala ceremonies and encounters and meetings and all these kind of external activities, but to limit it to the family and celebrate it in the family with one's own family members, and to celebrate it in a humble fashion. You may have a Christmas tree, you may have a crib at home, but please celebrate it privately. And if you have a possibility, please help another family or two in your area by providing something for them to have, considering the situation of the poverty that has come upon our people due to this COVID-19 situation. Avoid shopping in large numbers, avoid big gathering, also tamashas and celebrations. This time, Sri Lanka is suffering economically also. Therefore, we would call upon the government not to waste money on unnecessary decorations, Christmas festival ceremonies and all that, and then to humbly celebrate, encourage the people to humbly celebrate Christmas. And I would like once again to appeal to our flock to kindly follow always the guidelines of the health authorities to avoid this sickness spreading in our country. Christmas should not become the moment in which Sri Lanka had an explosion of the pandemic. It must not become that moment, hopefully. So we request our Catholic brethren to be humble in their celebration. I wish all Sri Lankans, including our Catholic brethren, a very happy Christmas and a very blessed New Year.
The handmade batik cassocks and other offerings by Catholic nuns for the 15 bishops in the country were symbolically presented yesterday. It was held at the residence of the Archbishop in Borella with the participation of Madam Shiranti Rajapaksa. The offerings were presented to auxiliary bishops of the Archdiocese, Reverend Fathers J.D. Anthony, Maxwell Granville Silva and Anton Ranjit. State Minister Dayasiri Jayasekara was also present at this occasion. The city of Colombo was illuminated with decorations marking the dawn of Christmas.
The main midnight Holy Mass will be taking place at St. Sebastian's Church in Kandana. Accordingly, the live telecast of the Holy Mass will be telecast on national television from 11:40 p.m. onwards.
Thank you. Today the whole world celebrating the Christmas, the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ. In the Archdiocese of Colombo, today we celebrate the Holy Mass presided by His Eminence Cardinal Malcolm Ranjit at the National Shrine, Kandana, St. Sebastian's Church. The administrator here with us, Father, hope everything is ready with the process.
Yeah, under the all health regulations, we are celebrating the midnight mass in this church. The Most Reverend Dr. Malcolm Cardinal Ranjit is celebrating the Holy Mass tonight, and we are only inviting a limited crowd because of these health reasons. And then we are asking all the faithful of Sri Lanka, stay at home and enter into the Holy Mass and celebrate the midnight Mass at home and wish each other Merry Christmas during this Christmas Mass.
Thank you, Father. And this Holy Mass will be telecast live at 11:45 today. Thank you, and back to the studio.
President of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Sri Lanka, Reverend Bishop of Roman Catholic Diocese of Badulla, Winston J. Fernando, says the Catholic community in the country is encouraged to celebrate Christmas in a joyous and spiritual manner without external festivities, considering the prevailing situation in the country.
COVID-19 is one such virus that is truly threatening the lives of thousands of people. So let us celebrate Christmas, but celebrate with joy, deep peace, with the blessings of God. But of course, without the external festivity, without visiting our relations, without the external fanfare and parties, because we cannot do that this time. All that we can do is to celebrate Christmas in a very spiritual way. We ought also to reach out to those who are in difficulty because of the restrictions that the COVID-19 has brought upon us. And there are many people who are in need. Let us reach out to them with love and compassion, share the resources that we have, and bring them happiness and joy. That is true Christmas. This is what the Lord is asking us to do.
The unveiling of the statue of the late Venerable Alutnuvara Sumanithissa Nayaka Thera was held last evening with the participation of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. The statue has been erected at the Ganga Tilka Vihara at Iyampurwa, Madivela, Kotte. Late Venerable Alutnuvara Sumanithissa Nayaka Thera held the positions of chief incumbent number of Buddhist temples, namely Pannipitiya Araula East, Siri Vijayasivadanarama, Ganga Tilaka Vihara at Iyampuro Madivela Kotte and Lankarama Buddhist Institute in Los Angeles, USA, and also he was the chief Sangha Nayaka of North America. The Nayaka Thera passed away on May 2, 2019. Late Venerable Sumanatissa Thera has rendered a yeoman's service in propagating Buddhism both in Sri Lanka and overseas. The President also participated in a brief ceremony organized to commemorate late Thera's contribution towards the community. The chief incumbent of the temple, Venerable Alutnura Chandima, and Chief Sanghanayaka for Japan and Southeast Asia, Venerable Palpula Vipassithero, delivered the sermons. The Mahasangha, Minister Sarath Veerasekara, members of the Dayaka Sabhava of the Lankaram Vihara in Los Angeles, USA, and members of the Dayaka Sabhava of other temples participated on this occasion. The new PCR machine, purchased under the guidance of Chief Incumbent of Kunduwatta Mahavihara Horana and the advisor of Suwasarna Health Fund, Venerable Udugalmote Sirivimala Thera, and with contributions from well-wishers, was officially handed over to President Gotabaya Rajapaksa recently. The machine will be installed at the National Institute of Health in Kaltara to cater to the needs of the district. Minister Rohit Abe Gunawardena, State Minister Jayant Samaravira were also present on the occasion.
Chief Epidemiologist Dr. Sudath Samaravira says that the public has been educated on how to celebrate Christmas and New Year festivities within health protective guidelines.
The coming Christmas holidays as well as New Year holidays is very crucial for the COVID-19 control, because most of the people will be traveling all around the country, and also there may be festivals. It is the usual pattern, but this time that we can't do all the things as usual, but we can do many things in the new normal life. So what we expect, especially from the Catholic community and also from all others, to celebrate Christmas and New Year with new normal pattern, that is maintaining the distance and also wearing a face mask properly and maintaining hand hygiene, and should not touch each other, should not greet each other by shaking hands or hugging, and should use an alternative method and should not gather large crowd together. In that manner, everybody will be able to celebrate this Christmas in a new normal way, but as traditionally. So with this, I think that all our people will be able to celebrate these holidays in order not to spread COVID-19 in our country. That is our expectation.
Deputy Director General of Health Services Dr. Hemantha Herath briefed on the measures undertaken by the Ministry of Health along with the health sector stakeholders to prevent the further spread of COVID-19 outbreak in the country during this festive season. He made these remarks during a media briefing held today.
We have, as the Ministry of Health, has several steps to mitigate the probable spread of the disease during this festive season, because it is inevitable that large number of people are supposed to leave the western province to see their loved ones, probably in different parts of the country. And up to now, the government has not imposed any legal restrictions in this regard. And as a result, we have to ensure that the least number of cases or virus is not going to spread into other parts of the country. However, we have seen even up to now, small clusters have been reported in different parts of the island, and we are confident that these clusters could be managed and controlled effectively. However, what is required is to reduce the emergence of such clusters, and the government has initiated this process of checking randomly the people who are going out of the western province in different places, and this will be only random checking where only a small number of people will be subjected to this testing. I also wish everybody Merry Christmas and very Happy New Year, and I request everybody to celebrate the New Year and also the Christmas during this festive season with responsibility, and make sure that we are going to make our nation safe.
Ministry of Health says the COVID-19 recoveries in the country reached the 30,000 mark today. Accordingly, a total of 30,568 COVID-19 recoveries were reported after recording 686 COVID-19 recoveries in the last 24 hours. 28 fully recovered COVID-19 patients who were receiving treatment at the COVID-19 treatment centres in Polonnaruwa district were discharged today. They were identified as residents of the Colombo district. A total of 13,578 COVID-19 recoveries have been reported in the country since the beginning of this month until today. The highest number of COVID-19 recoveries recorded in a day was reported on December 16th. Accordingly, 785 recoveries were reported on that day. Meanwhile, a total of 686 COVID-19 recoveries were reported today. The percentage of fully recovered COVID-19 patients in the country is at 78.29, taking the tally to 30,568. The percentage of active patients receiving treatments is at 21.24, with the tally at 8,293. Meanwhile, another 406 COVID-19 patients were identified in the island today. Out of this, total 388 have been identified as close associates of the patients in the Paliagoda cluster. The remaining 18 patients have been identified as those connected to the prison cluster. Meanwhile, steps have been taken to conduct random PCR tests and antigen tests targeting places with high density of public in Colombo city during this festive season. A total of 13,895 PCR tests were conducted yesterday. The total number of PCR tests conducted so far is at 1.1 million. Epidemiology unit has indicated that if an infected person with the new strain of COVID-19 virus is detected in the country, steps have been taken to treat such patients under special protective conditions. One COVID-related death was reported from the island yesterday. The victim was a 71-year-old resident from Kalatura South area. The cause of his death has been determined as blood poisoning and a condition related to cancer triggered with COVID-19 infection. Meanwhile, a series of special guidelines has been prepared to maintain the operations of economic centres. The aim of this series of special guidelines is to maintain the operations of the economic centres without causing an outbreak of the virus following a potential spread of the virus among the traders as well as the consumers. The program to plant 1 million trees under the Praja Haritabhimani National Program for the conservation of water resources and hydro catchment areas was commenced today. The objective of the program is to provide safe drinking water for the nation in the next 5 years in accordance to the Vistas of Prosperity policy statement of the President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. The program was initiated this morning covering all districts. Accordingly, tree saplings were planted in hydro catchment areas after identifying water sources across the country. The main ceremony related to the program was held at the bank of the Mudun Kotua tank. Minister Vasudeva Nanayakkara presided the event. 50,000 saplings were planted in Ratnapura district today. Another main ceremony was held in Uriyava Grama Niladhari division in Anamaduwa. State Minister Sanat Nishanta presided the ceremony. Another tree planting ceremony, presided by parliamentarian Major Sudarshana Denpitiya, was held in Kandearawa Pasal Patana Reserve in Bandaravela. Saplings were planted in the Randya community-based premises in Padukka in parallel to the national program. The Kagaul district program was initiated from Mologoda Jayapala school premises in Rambukkana. The event was presided by State Minister Kanaka Herath. The Anuradhapura district program was presided over by parliamentarian KPS Kumarasiri. It was held near Bogoda tank in Tantrimale. The Gampha district program was held at the Parakum community-based organisation premises in Katuwala Mulla. A tree planting program was also held in Valibisa area in Badulla. 600 tree saplings were planted at the camp near in Viragama Mahavali village in Girandrakotte, Mahayangana. Another tree planting program was held at the historic Ramba Vihara premises in Ambalantota. The event was presided over by MP Ajit Rajapaksa.
Police media spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana says the police special task force has recovered 2 foreign manufactured pistols, 4 magazines and 14 live ammunitions during the raid carried out in Mulleriava area yesterday. One of the recovered pistols has been manufactured in Turkey while the other pistol has been manufactured in Germany. A suspect was taken into custody in Bandaravatte area in Talangama yesterday, along with 1.5 million rupees worth illegal drugs ice and equipment to consume illegal drug ice, over 1 gram of heroin, more than 200,000 rupees in cash and other equipment. The arrest has been made by Thalangam police. The suspect, known as Rajitha, was arrested in connection to the alleged involvement of distributing illegal narcotics belonging to the recently arrested Thalahene Buddy, who is an associate of individuals Valle Suranga and Batramulle Sanju, alleged to be involved in drug rackets from India.
The Department of Meteorology forecasts that showers or thunder showers may occur in several parts of the country. The meteorological report has indicated that prevailing showery condition in the northern, eastern and north-central provinces are expected to reduce temporarily tomorrow and the day after. Showers or thunder showers exceeding 100 millimeters will occur in Ratnapura, Kalutara, Nuwara, Gaul and Mathura districts. Showers or thunder showers will occur in several sea areas extending from Mannar to Pothuwil via Kankisanture and Trincomalee. Meanwhile, Particular District Secretary K. Karunagaran said that a total of 35,640 families have been affected from the prevailing weather condition. A total of 6,680 families in the Kattankuri Divisional Secretariat Division, 5,689 persons in the Korlepattu Vakara area and 1,561 families in the Manmune North Divisional Secretariat Division have been affected at present. Also, 402 families in the Korlepattu Divisional Secretariat Division and 139 families of Korlepattu Central Divisional Secretariat Division have been affected from the prevailing weather condition. Two sluice gates of the Parakrama Samudra have been opened and excessive water has been diverted to the Amban River. According to the Disaster Management Unit of Polonnaru District, and now other sluice gates will also be opened if the prevailing rainy condition continues. Therefore, the warnings have been issued for the residents in low-lying areas to remain vigilant. Meanwhile, 6 sluice gates of the Rajanganya tank of Anuradhapura have been opened. The excess water has been released to Kalaoya. A section of the A7 main road has subsided due to the heavy falls in Vattavala area. Reports have indicated that this section of the road previously subsided during last year. Therefore, the vehicular movement of the road was limited to a single lane. The entry road to historic Somavati sacred site has been inundated with heavy falls. Chief Incumbent Venerable Pahamune Sumangalathera has taken steps to provide necessary food rations for the security officers. Reports have indicated that the Mahaveli River near Seru Nuvara Road in Kantale has reached up to the spill level due to the prevailing rainy condition. The dam built in the Mahaveli River for the prevention of flooding and 500 acres of paddy fields in Samagipura area have been inundated. Reports have been indicated that around 500 families will be displaced in the event of overflowing of the river.
Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena says the price rates of many essential food commodities could be reduced by next year. He said that the price reduction would be possible with the availability of the harvest of many locally cultivated essential food products in the domestic market during the coming year. Addressing a media briefing, the minister said that the opposition has made baseless remarks over the price rates of the essential food products. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena said that the rice requirement in the market can be fulfilled at a price rate of 85 rupees by following the policies of the Yahapalana government in the recent past by purchasing and importing rice from India. However, he said that the present government stands with the farmer community of the country and not with such importers or racketeers. The minister said that in accordance to the Vistas of Prosperity policy statement, a fixed higher price rate has been set for 16 cultivation crops, including rice, for the benefit of the farmer community. He added that even though difficulties prevail on such price hikes during a short time period, within a protective market condition, such difficulties would be eased in the next year with the arrival of the locally manufactured products to the markets. He also said that even though the government was criticized for banning the importation of turmeric into the country, at present people are trading turmeric on the roadside with the increased production. He further added that the turmeric production in the country would continue to increase by next season, which would reduce the price rates accordingly. The minister said that the government has taken effort to direct the country towards the national program to cultivate the necessary agri-products within the country to fulfill the domestic requirement in the long term. And that's it for tonight's news. Do watch us tomorrow at the very same time. Good night.
Have a pleasant night.